T100 San Francisco winner on his first attempt at 100K distance, but undefeated in middle distance triathlon, Martin van der Riel. Take us through his swim, bike, and run. Did it go as you expected?
No, the day didn't really go as expected, but yeah, still super happy with the outcome. Obviously, we started the swim there in Alcatraz. It was super quick actually, but I never really got a good feeling swimming with the gloves and the booties. Like it's different, and yeah, just I don't know. I didn't have a good feeling in the water. But then coming on the bike, we actually had a breakaway with the three eventual musketeers that battled as well in the end. So it was Rico, me, and Kyle, and yeah, we had a really good collaboration. It was quite easy because we were just the three of us in front. Like it was easy to keep the distance. There was no messing around. Because then in the last lap, a couple of people caught up, and it got a little bit messy on the hills with like people slotting in, and you had to like stop your legs pretty much, and like I let myself maybe get surprised a little bit because I went into transition one of the last.
Good.
Had a bad transition as well because my bike kept falling out of the rack. So then I saw Kyle was first out, and he looked like he was on fire and flying out, and I knew before that he was going to be one of the most dangerous guys, especially on the run. So I did everything to close it as soon as possible, and I think maybe overdid myself a little bit. Yeah, like basically I caught him after 2K, but he was like probably a 25-second gap in 2K. It's maybe a bit too much, and I just had to sit in the other laps and found some energy somewhere magically deep down in the last 200 meters. So yeah, super happy.
Could you tell who was going well? Like, could you tell Kyle was doing well on the run? Rico, was there any indication?
I mean, yeah, both were really strong because obviously Kyle was off the front. He's had that incredible Chamoring performance 2 weeks ago where he ran really fast. He was also really strong on the bike. And then Rico as well. Like, I mean, it wasn't easy to catch Kyle, and like then I didn't really expect him to, like, Rico to catch us again as well. And he also searched one time when I was eating a gel. I was like, you, I'm not gonna say it, but it's like I started eating my gel, and he's like just full on sprinting. And I'm like, bro, give me a break. But I guess that's tactics, you know. So yeah, like I think it was pretty clear that on the run we were the three strongest of the day, and yeah, to have a finish like that, it's honestly incredible for everyone, for the athletes, but also for the public.
Yeah. Compare this to a world triathlon race now. What's the difference? Do you enjoy this more?
Yeah, I enjoy it more just because I think in world triathlon everything is getting so close that there's no more opportunities to make a difference on the bike. Whereas here, okay, we were all very close off the bike, but yeah, I mean, everybody's legs were destroyed for sure with a course like this. But then, yeah, it's still super close, super tight racing. You're with the best of the world here. So in the end, we are probably with like top 10 is within 2.5 minutes or something like that. So yeah, that's what I love. I love racing, and I got a good race today.
Oh man, you must be excited for the next ones, but you've got the Olympics coming up, so you'll have to turn your focus back to that. Good luck with that. We're stoked to have you on the T100 Tour.
Thank you very much.
Collecting another great result today, and another astounding win. The two-time world champion gets the job done in San Francisco.
T100 San Francisco champion, Taylor Neb. Taylor, what do you think about Alcatraz and this whole race?
Well, I'm told we got the soft version because the real race used so much longer than we did. But it was a fantastic race, a fantastic venue, and I definitely hope to be back both for the T100 and Escape from Alcatraz.
You've got so much going on this year. How do you feel like you're as excited for the T100 as the Olympics?
Well, I'm excited and grateful for every single opportunity. Like, this is special, and you just don't want to ever take anything for granted. And I'm very grateful that I have a fantastic team who supports me in doing all of these, because it's not easy. Everyone works a lot harder than me to prepare.
You always talk about that amazing team, but did you have a game plan with your team coming into this race? And it looked like a hard race to execute a game plan with so many variables. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I think the big plan was to get out of the swim, first and foremost. that was that was a goal. That was actually that was part of the plan. Make it to the end of the swim. And then I had either, if we had booties, I could run to the transition with booties on. If not, I had to wear shoes because we don't want to take any risks before Paris. I had a detailed bike plan of both RPE and watts, but just kind of an idea, but going by RPE for each section, headwind, tailwind, uphill, downhill. And then, so it made laps fly by because it was just focus for 3 minutes and then you switch to a different one. And then the run was just go and execute the best race I can and read the field.
Kat was pretty close on the bike for a few of the laps there. You got more of a gap towards the end. Did you were you thinking about her a little bit on the run coming up?
Oh, 100%. I mean, when I had 90 seconds on her, I'm like, oh God, we're in trouble. So yes, Kat is a phenomenal athlete. I respect her tremendously, and I'm very grateful that she was able to come this week and pivoted so quickly from Hamburg.
Well, good luck, Taylor, the rest of your races. Great race. Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you for all your graphics and information.
And now they're coming to fourth place right now is the Great Dane. He comes.
Kyle Smith, second place by just inches. Can you take me through that sprint finish and what was going through your mind?
Yeah, with 4K to go, I knew it was going to come down to a sprint finish. We were all Rico, Martin, and I were all marking each other. So I thought, oh well, we're the three best runners on the day today, so it's going to come down to a sprint finish. And yeah, I just had to prepare myself for that. But yeah, with 600 meters to go, I really thought I was going to vomit. So I just had to hold that down, and yeah, got onto the last 100 meters, and yeah, obviously the better guy won. So yeah.
Did you think you had it, maybe?
Oh, I usually back my sprint finish, but yeah, obviously it was a hard sprint finish too on the grass and then on the carpet, so it was quite slippery. But yeah, honestly, yeah, Martin, kudos to him for taking the win.
You ready to do it again? Next one?
Always.
Katrina Matthews, come on, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an incredible effort today, and the smile is
All right, I'm here with Kat Matthews. What an incredible performance. Kat, did the race go as expected, or did you surprise yourself a bit?
Great question. It's better than the ones I've had already today. Yeah, I surprised myself a little bit, to be honest. Being in that position in the swim really set me up for a really great day. That was ultimately, and I've been working so hard on my swim, so it wasn't just that it was a short swim. I put a lot of effort into that. But obviously these conditions are very unique. So I was then able to feel really good and feisty on the bike. And being near the front is always really positive. So yeah, really, I surprised myself, yes.
I wish I could have gone on the boat with you guys. You guys were up so early in the morning. Take us behind the scenes on that boat before the race started.
It was actually quite nice. It was quite comfy. Everyone was quite chatty. So it's a double decker, but loads of space. So the boys were all downstairs. I'd no idea what they were up to, obviously. We were all upstairs sitting around. Most people were just chatting, and we had obviously 45 minutes and then the boys went. So no one really was doing anything. A few people doing mobility and just sitting around. Then we got to watch the start of the men, which really helped. So we got to see how to sight, we got to see what lines people took, and everyone was just discussing and helping each other. It was really nice. It was very it was obviously a female environment. It was really nice. And then people obviously started getting wetsuits on and getting all serious. So it was lovely.
What was jumping off the edge of that boat like?
I just didn't think about it, to be honest, and I just did it, and it was like a longer dive, as in hang time in the air, than I realised, I think, and it took me by surprise. So yeah, a bit of a shock, but I didn't feel any of that sort of cold water. I think we were so near-preened up that it was fine. It was just really choppy, so you had to just sort of fight the waves, fight the sighting, fight your stroke. It was an aggressive swim individually.
I'm so curious about this now because it's a race with so many variables, with that swim, with the hard bike, with it's so cold. Was it hard to stick to a game plan here? Taylor told me her game plan and she was able to stick to that. Did you find it the same way? Were you able to stick to your plan?
I don't really go into a race with a game plan. I don't have, prescription here or this there, and I don't sit down and have a detailed plan. It was like race the race was, I think, what my coach said, and that's how I like to do it. I think taking decisions in the moment and seeing how I feel, you have to adapt all the time. So swimming hard and getting out as quickly as possible, biking as hard as possible, and then running really fast. That's my game plan.
Brilliant. Well, it worked, and this has got to give you some confidence going into the rest of the T100 races. And I mean, what a year you've still got lined up with more races as well alongside the T100. Just how are you feeling about the rest of the year now?
Yeah, I think this result has been, it gives me a sort of composure to just write off some of the mistakes I've made this year and lack of fortune perhaps. So and maybe back to a sort of level playing field, status quo. It gave me a good platform where I know I'm fit, and yet I'm also really eager to perform really well, whereas this feels like, okay, fine, platform, baseline done. So yeah, I've got another Ironman and another T100 and then another 70.3, and then Nice is the main focus, and then carrying on from that a few more T100 races. So yeah, really interesting.
Philipp, third place here, T100 San Francisco. Was this race as you expected?
Well, it was pretty cool. I surprised myself with a podium finish. I definitely didn't expect that to happen. It was a really stacked field and a very challenging course. I think, the course played into my cards, and maybe also the conditions. I know that I can handle tough conditions. And to be honest, the swim was really fun. It was a bit scary to jump off that boat and straight into the cold water and the waves, but as soon as I realized that I'm still around people, I started to enjoy it. And then the bike course was tough. It definitely smashed the legs, but also pretty epic with the fog and the wind, and it had everything, so that was pretty cool. And the run was also really nice. I enjoyed running on gravel. I think it does make things tougher, but then also the super fast runners maybe can't run high speed anymore. So I think overall that played into my cards, and then I was feeling well. I was enjoying the crowds and just really loved the city here.
Could you take me just a second back onto the boat? You guys were in transition 4 a.m. and then onto that ferry for such a unique experience heading to Alcatraz. What was it like on the boat?
Yeah, so first of all, I think I had to wake up the earliest that I ever did, so 2:30. And then, it was quite a long time until the women jumped off that boat. So, the boat was pretty cool. We had a lot of space to warm up or hang around. And so time passed by quite quickly. And then it was obviously quite cool to see the men jump in first, see how their sighting was or which route they took in the swim. So I think that was good for us. And then we obviously saw that the swim is quite fast. So there definitely has been some current. Overall it was a pretty cool experience.
So it's just an amazing year this year with so many top level races. You're going to Roth next, but does this make you excited for the rest of the T100 Tour?
Yes, 100%. I think San Francisco is an epic location. I can't wait to visit the other locations. Next one, London. I think this will be pretty special too. And for me, the next race will be Challenge Roth. Also one of the best races out there, and obviously a bit longer. Over the next weeks, I will definitely try to focus a bit on the long distance preparation. But I think having a fast and shorter race like this today is definitely a really good stimulus, and also for long distance racing.
I think everybody's going to be watching you there in Roth after this performance. Congratulations, amazing job.
Thank you so much.
And what a race that was. You got a big smile on your face. How was it?
Yeah, I'm really happy with my third place. For sure, if it's so close to the first place, you want to have to win. But it was a really great day. A little bit hectic swim because you didn't see anything. And I thought maybe just in 10th place, but then I was out of water in second. And yeah, the bike was really cool. I like it if it's more tactical and more hilly, and yeah, the course was really great. Thought maybe it's a little bit too slippery because it was really foggy and a little bit of rain, but it was okay. And yeah, and we were a 7-man group, and yeah, then I had quite good legs after the hard bike. And yeah, could run a good pace. Kai Smith went out very fast, but I know that from the Challenge Summer Wheel for 3 weeks, he went out also very fast. So I let him run, and then I could close the gap after 2 laps. And then yeah, it was cool to run in the first position with the podium, and in the last loop it was just tactical because yeah, it's about the podium and it's just about the win. Yeah.
So it was so different to Miami. What do you think of this course versus that course? You prefer it? Are you excited for the other courses and the dynamics?
Yeah, for sure. Miami was very early for me in the season, so I was not that high in performance. But it was under weather conditions. It was over 30 degrees or 3, and it's just more difficult for my body. I like it more temperatures like this. And yeah, also the bike course is completely different. There it was just aero position, and here you could push more watts at the uphill and then easier downhill. So it's more interval, and Miami was just steady pace. This is more for long distance guys, and I think this course is more for the short distance guys. Yeah. And because I'm very young and I came from this short distance, this suits me better. Yeah.